Hey, look, it's the Kaiju Collector, yay!
Hey, what needs the Kaiju Collector, and today we will be taking a look at the Bandai Creations Godzilla from Godzilla 1954. Now, this figure was released all the way back in 2009 alongside two other figures, a Mechagodzilla 1974 and a re-release of Anguirus 2004. There was also a couple 12-inch figures as well, but mainly I'm just talking about the 6-inch figures for now. And this figure was released a bunch of times after this. In fact, I don't even know which version of this figure I own. But that doesn't really matter since all these versions look the exact same. I would assume this figure was released back in 2009, so this figure came out around 17 years ago. But is it still worth it, or is it still good compared to other 1954 figures? Let's take a look by taking a look at this figure's box. Now, taking a look at the box here, it looks very similar to the original Final Wars release, except instead of a blue background, it's now gray with this very unique looking design. The front, it just shows the typical Godzilla logo, again with the final Goji with the red atomic breath. And on the back of the box, I couldn't find any real back of the boxes for this figure in particular, but I did find it for a different figure. So it just shows, it would typically show really, the Godzilla 54, Mechagodzilla 74, and the two 12-inch figures. But now that we're done with that, let's take a look at this figure's articulation. Godzilla can rotate all the way around at the head here. He can rotate back and forth at the arms. They can move all the way around, but these legs are in the way. And speaking of the legs, they can technically go all the way around. This arm here is preventing that. And this leg cannot go all the way around because of the design of the thigh here. The tail here at the second point here should move, but it broke off unfortunately, so it right now cannot move. So if that joint in the back of the tail there wouldn't be broken, this figure would get a solid 10 out of 10. Because the articulation here is very unique. I have never seen a 1954 Godzilla have rotation at the middle of the tail. That's really interesting. So, 10 out of 10, technically. Now, on to paint and detail. In terms of colors, Godzilla has 4 colors. He has a white for the dorsal fins, claws, toes, teeth, and the highlights, a black for the pupils, a red for the mouth, and a gray for the base color. As for the skin, it is the traditional Godzilla skin, and it looks amazing here. Just look at all of that detail. It's all across the figure. Now, to me at least, this Godzilla doesn't really look that accurate to the 1954 original design. While he isn't directly looking straight, his pure red mouth is really throwing me off, unfortunately. And this might just be me, but for some reason, he has like this kind of crest-like design on the top of his head, which makes his head look kind of tall. Is it just me? But hey, even though it's not fully accurate, it still looks amazing. Just look at all that fantastic detail. Look at the design of the muzzle, the mouth, and the ears. It's amazing. And look at those dorsal nubs. Godzilla's arms are small as they should be, and look at those hands. They actually look really nice, especially on both sides. And something I'll praise this figure for is the fact that both arms are different, as this arm has a different pose than this arm. And it still looks amazing, and yes, his wrist is not as skinny as the Final Wars figure. Godzilla has some really big legs. I mean, like, look at this. And the kneecaps here are really interesting as they look like the insides of a tree. Is it just me? That's a compliment, by the way, because it looks good still. Godzilla's feet are nice, although a little bit too skinny. And of course, trademark and copyright 2009 Toho Co. Ltd. and Bandai 2009 China 300800605. Godzilla's tail is pretty thick, which I mean I'm pretty sure is accurate, and you have the nice details adorning the entire tail, and it's curved to fit in the box. And now, look at those dorsal fins. They look amazing. Out of all the 1954 figures I own, this low-key might be the best in terms of the dorsal fin sculpt because it's so out there, it's so sharp, it's amazing. And that detail is there all the way too. Up to here really, until you get to here and it's just fully painted to the tip of the tail, which is nice. And that's Godzilla's paint and detail. Overall, it's a very good figure. I'm gonna give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. And now, size and size comparisons. In terms of his height, Godzilla is around just above the 6-inch mark And as for size comparisons, here he is compared to Bandai Creations Gigan 1972, Bandai Creations Godzilla 2004, Bandai Creations Mechagodzilla 2, and of course, the Bandai Godzilla Island Monster Series Heisei era Godzilla figure. Lastly, I want to make some very quick comparisons to the Bandai Toho Kaiju Series Godzilla 1954 Tsuburaya, a color edition or something like that. And while yes, this figure might look a little bit more accurate, I prefer this figure's more, jagged looking design, especially with the dorsal fins and, the way he looks. But I also just prefer the fact that this figure's tail is, flat and curved rather than this, curved to fit in a box looking design. So if I had to pick between the two, this might sound a bit shocking, but I actually kind of prefer this figure over this figure, to be honest. Because I just like the way this figure looks on my shelf. I mean, don't get me wrong, this thing looks amazing on your shelf, but just the fact that this figure just looks like this compared to, like this guy takes the cake for me in terms of the designs. And that's it. Overall, this Bandai Creation Godzilla 1954 figure, the 2009 version, will get an overall score of a 9.25 out of 10. This figure is very, very good. I'd highly recommend it. Especially if this is the first 1954 figure you get. It doesn't even matter which one you get. You can get the 2009 version or even the 2019 version. They're still the exact same because they're the exact same molds and everything. And it's still good. And that's pretty much it out of me. What did you guys think of this figure? Did you guys like it? Did you guys not like it? Did you guys prefer the original, I think 2002 version? This one? Which one do you guys prefer? Let me know in the comments down below. And, yeah. Again, this is day 2 of my Godzilla Bandai Creation Marathon. I don't know which I'm going to review next, but it's going to be another Bandai Creation review. So, yeah, I'll see you guys later. See ya.